I think this is kind of the no-brainer of this. Good process plus good content will give us good results. Okay? The good content that I'm referring to is that we have the right people in the room. We've given them the information that they need, and we're looking after that side of it. The process side of it is everything else. It's how we get them to engage, how we design the meeting in itself versus how much time we give for the decision, how much time we give for implications, all that sort of stuff. That's all process, okay? And here's what I know, and I think you know too. You could be the very best group leader in the world. If you've got the wrong people in the room armed with the wrong content, you're going to have a compromised result. Right? Now, but on the other hand, we can have all the right people in the room with poor group leadership, and we will have a compromised result. Okay? So our results go to the lowest common denominator, always. Would you say?
How did you get that, the right people in the room related to the C, which is content?
Okay, so the content of, let's imagine any church meeting that we have, okay? The content, what would be a decision that we're going to make?
Well, you're going to adopt a new identity mission statement.
Okay, all
You've
right.
got a one-page document, which you think is adequate content.
Yeah.
So how does that relate to your next point, which was get the right people in the room?
Okay. You want some input from them, right? Or you're asking them for a decision, for a consensus around this mission statement?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm assuming with that then that the people that are in the room have a stake in the mission that you're trying to develop and reach consensus on. Now, have I given them the information in terms of our vision, in terms of where we've been, and what would be the background information that I would want all of these people to have so they could make their very best contribution towards this vetting of the mission statement? So it's the information, it's the expertise, it's the experience, it's the input that for me is the content. Does that make sense? And the process is how we bring that content together in a way that helps us come to a good result. So process has everything to do with my meeting design, with my time management, with managing the monopolizers, with engaging the people who aren't engaged. That's all process. And here's what my baggage is that I want to put out to you. This, to do well, is a full-time job. So for moderators, for leadership in the church, who also have a strong content role to contribute, it's hard to be equally effective in both. It's not impossible, but wow, it's a challenge. I do a lot of training in conflict resolution, and so I'm giving a lot of content, okay? And I always tell people, when I'm training, I do my worst here. I do my worst in time management. I do my worst in really tracking who's speaking, who's not speaking, because you can engage me in a question, and I think, wow, that's really interesting. I want to go there with you. And I'll go there for 20 minutes with you, and forget about the fact that you might have been the only one that was really interested in that question. Because I'm so deep into this that I forget about what's happening in terms of all of the group dynamics going on, okay? So sometimes, and we'll come to this tomorrow a little bit, but I just want to put out there that when we're moderating a meeting, we need to really think through how the content gets introduced. Maybe I want to have somebody else introduce the mission statement in our example so that I can help process it, so that I can help facilitate all of the input that comes around it. Does that make sense? Because when I do both, not impossible, but it's tough. It's tough. One can often get compromised.